Welcome back. Long-awaited second day on the trip.
Indie Life Adventures,
Number 2.
TD Life Adventures, Tessa
Episode.
and Dory. Do you remember what episode?
2.
Oh, day 2. So where are we at?
We're on the river. The
Pacuare River.
we don't know what city we're in.
I'm not sure what town we're in right now.
We forgot.
Yes.
Town, beautiful town.
Yes. You can
Gorgeous
probably
town.
hear the river in the background, and hopefully you can see some of these different huts. We're at Pacuare River Camp.
Yes.
And this is our porch. We're going to be sleeping inside this netted cabin. All the walls are screened in, and we have a cabin all to ourselves. It's quite lovely. So yeah, so talk to us about your day.
Oh, don't mind if I do. Well, woke up bright and early and got ready. We picked up at 6 a.m., which is incidentally also when our hostel started serving coffee. So luckily for us, they were a little late to pick us up. But I was a little anxious because I ordered the coffee, but I just felt like they were gonna come pick us up, and then for us to be like, one moment, I felt like that would not be okay.
Yes.
They gave us our coffees, and the moment I came up to Mom with the coffee, someone walked in and was like, "We're here for Dorothy." And
Yes.
so that was like really lovely.
Perfect timing.
It was impressively good timing.
Yes.
We got on a bus.
A van.
A van.
Yeah, it was like a 15-passenger van.
Yes.
And there was a whole group of ladies. What was it, like 6 of us, 7 of us?
Yeah.
And then we had the van driver and then the tour guide, who up to that point hadn't said a lot yet. And then Tessa, I guess, had on her spidey senses, and she was like, what if they're human trafficking us?
It's a real problem. You have to be alert.
Alert.
But Mom read all of the reviews for the company and everything.
Yeah, I felt confident we were in good hands. And then Tessa kind of did an assessment of the ladies on the van.
Yeah, I was like, why is it only women? Don't get me wrong. Everyone knows how much I love women. But it made me feel like I don't want to get trafficked.
Right, but I thought the clever thing you said was, if it came down to it, we all looked like very strong women who could have handled our business. Like, these weren't little meek ladies.
No.
Like, we would have kicked those guys' ass.
Yeah, so
But they turned out to be really nice, legitimate, good
fellas.
men. Yeah, all was well, but she was on the lookout.
But if we could have beat them up.
Yeah.
Yes, so that was just good to observe.
Yes. So today was day 1 of whitewater rafting. Essentially what we're doing here is a 2-day whitewater rafting trip with a overnight stay here in the lodges. And the first day of whitewater rafting was very short. We were only on the water for maybe an hour and a half if you include the 2 times we stopped to go swimming. But then tomorrow is the long day where we'll do, because I think we did 4 kilometers today on the water, and tomorrow we're going to do 26 kilometers. So yeah.
We, when we got off of the bus, we were at like a breakfast place. It wasn't like a breakfast place, it was like part of the tour.
Yes.
Part of the company was that they brought us in to eat breakfast with them.
Yes. So all the different vans, you got a van coming from San Jose with participants, one coming from La Fortuna, and one coming from, I think it was Puerto Viejo. And they all meet at the breakfast place, which is like their headquarters. They serve us all breakfast, and then they divide up everybody, whether they're doing the 1-day rafting trip or the 2-day. And there's only 4 of us that are doing the 2-day rafting trip. There's 2 guys from Holland and then us 2. And there's so many lodges here, and there's only the 4 of us along with our guide and then some volunteers. So It is incredibly peaceful, and we've got the place to ourselves.
And we're learning a lot from the volunteers about travel opportunities.
Wow, yes, because the volunteers, there's 2 guys from England and then a guy and a girl from Germany, and they do an app called Workaway, where they are volunteers here for a certain period of time. They get free lodging, they're fed, and they volunteer and do the work to maintain the place and to help run this place. And so, and they traveled all over doing this. So it really sounds like an incredible thing to explore. I was thinking about it for Tessa, but then I was also thinking about it for Granny. She needs to maybe get on this Workaway thing and go. I mean, it'd be incredible for anybody who just wasn't tied down.
Yeah.
Yeah, you and Granny. Y'all go adventuring together, Workaway.
Back to the good old days.
Exactly. But, explain why you're soaking wet. Aside from the fact that we went whitewater rafting.
We did go whitewater rafting.
But we were here by noon, and now it is almost 4 p.m.
Yes.
So why are you still wet?
Great question. It's because we went on a hike to a waterfall with our rafting instructor and the 2 other guys, and there was a little pool and a waterfall, and we got in. Not Mom though. She decided not to get in because of cold water.
And it wasn't necessarily that the water was so cold, but it's that the sun is already like disappearing, so there was no way to warm me back up after being in the cold water.
It was extremely relaxing.
But she was so daring as to get under the waterfall. And the waterfall was not so powerful that was dangerous. But I imagine it still kind of felt like you were being a little bit pummeled.
A little bit.
But so she got in there, swam around, enjoyed herself.
Yeah, and I'm really enjoying the 2 guys.
Yes, which we need to find out their names. They have been so genuinely friendly and just, they're 2 brothers who every year they go on different trips around the world together. They have a 3.5 weeks vacation. And it's just so inspiring. It's made me wonder if you and Matthew will ever do something like that.
I would love to.
Yes.
So I'm going to bring it up with him. I'm going to be like, we need to be like these guys.
Yeah, as soon as we know their names.
As soon as we know their names.
Those guys.
Those fellas.
But they're spending 3.5 weeks here, and they rented a vehicle with a rooftop tent, and they're camping for their 3.5 weeks here. And part of their itinerary is to hike the highest point in Costa Rica, which sounds awesome.
Awesome.
Yes. But anything else to say about your day?
So after the breakfast, we got back on the bus and then...
The van?
Yeah, the van. And then, since we were the only 2 on the van who were doing overnight, we got in a Toyota 4Runner with just a driver and our rafting instructor. They dropped us off at
Finca Tres Equis, so Farm 3 X's. And it was unclear exactly why they dropped us off there. They essentially said, because it just wasn't very clear. They're like, stay here, and then they left.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay. But the Finca Tres Equis gentleman was there, and it was his farm, and this farm had, was it 800 acres? They had horses, and there was this hilltop with a swing, and it was beautiful. It was so beautiful, and we didn't know how long we would be there, so he was like, you can go to the swing, and it was just unreal. So ends up, the reason they had dropped us off there was they had to go get the raft, a trailer and a raft, and while we were waiting on him to come back, the 2 brothers from Holland showed up, and so we all swung on the swing. Then they came back with the raft, and then from there we rode 3 miles down a very steep hill and put in, and that started our whitewater rafting adventure.
Yes.
Do you have anything else to say about the swing or the farm?
Best swing experience I've ever had. I think everyone should go to the swing. Beautiful horses,
And it was a cocoa farm, not cocoa. Yeah, cocoa, not coca, cocoa.
Cacao?
Cacao. That's what it is. A cacao farm. Yes. Yes.
I think it's funny that when they said they were from Holland, I was like, oh, Holland, Michigan.
Yeah.
And then I was like, then they had an accent. And I was like, I didn't know that a Michigan accent was that thick. They are from the Netherlands.
Yes. Yeah. So this excursion included the 2 days of whitewater rafting, the night stay here in the lodge, breakfast this morning. They made us lunch, and then we're going to have dinner, and then breakfast in the morning before we get on the river, and I assume we'll be eating lunch along the way, and then they drive us to La Fortuna. So all in all, I'm super impressed. I love it.
Yes.
I think this was a very good decision.
And this is like the most gorgeous place I've ever been to.
Like right now we're looking at banana trees. Today there were all sorts of hummingbirds and butterflies. Like, it's just beautiful here. It really is beautiful and quiet. And the fact that there's only 4 of us here on a place that could probably sleep 30. I mean, there's quite a few cabins. And I don't know if we're just here in an off season or what, because even at the hostel, the room we were in last night could have slept 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but it was just the 2 of us. And because it was just the 2 of us, I loved our stay. I cannot imagine what would have been like if 6 people were in that room.
I would have still had fun, but I agree that it was really spectacular that we got lucky like that.
Oh yeah, had our own room and our own private bathroom, and I think it was maybe $15 a night.
Nice.
I can't remember exactly. I'll have to go back and look. But it was awesome because we had our own room, minus the bug. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine we're about to our time limit. Anything else you want to say to conclude the day?
It's been awesome. More awesomeness is to come.
It has been awesome. It's a great day in nature. Not a good cell phone signal here, which is also awesome because then we're not just sitting on our phones. We're staring at the hummingbirds and the butterflies and the poison dart frogs and the gecko and the inchworm and
the leaf choppers.
The leaf cutter ants. There is a leaf cutter ant superhighway. There's all sorts of little trails here to just go and explore. And even though the big river is going by, there's little creeks that feed into the river that you can just walk and explore. Our big issue, I feel, the one big mistake is I did not pack any bug spray.
Lots of bugs for no spray.
There are lots of bugs for no spray. And I think they're only going to get worse throughout the night. So I'm hoping the netting in our cabin holds firm and that we are not eaten alive.
Yeah, and we should probably go put on their bug spray again.
Yes, the Holland brothers were willing to share their bug spray.
Yeah, and we have nothing to return the generosity, really. Besides our beautiful presents.
Like gifts, Christmas gifts? No.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for tuning in, and we look forward to telling you all about the whitewater rafting trip we're going to have tomorrow, and hoping for a great night's sleep in our beautiful cabin listening to the wildlife.
Yes.
Awesome. Thanks for tuning in.